In this scenario, you will learn the steps as a caseworker you need to take to validate a submitted tracing request from the portal. So the easiest way to find out that a tracing request has been submitted from the portal is to check among your tasks. You find your list of tasks on the dashboard under My Open Tasks. So here we have a task regarding Jafar Feda saying validate portal requested data. So I click on the name of the requester and I click on the case number to see the general view. I see the portal status submitted. So now I need to take the steps to validate data. You can do it in different orders, but I will start with the requester. So I go to the person record. So all data that is registered from the portal will appear in the field saying portal first name, portal middle name, and so on. And your job now as a caseworker is to validate and use information or keep the old information. So here we see, for example, the spelling I used when I registered the case was Jafar with 1A, and the requester has written Jafar with a double A. So now it's up to us to decide which spelling we should use. And in this scenario, I picked the requester's way of spelling his name. So I just update the field here. The middle name we didn't have before, but from the portal we got one. So I can just copy it up. Portal name Feda, but we had without an H. So I put an H. Then we need to check the contact details and address. We didn't have any since before, and the requester has entered some contact details. So we just use it. Okay, so now I have selected the data that has been registered from the portal side and populated the data in the fields of CRM. I've also gone through the general information and adapted the spelling, for example. So we have it the way the requester choose to put the spelling. So the next step is to validate. Just ignore the duplication warning. The next step is to create the beneficiary. So the requester has entered data regarding the sought person. So in this scenario, it's a wife. So what we will do first is to use the search tool to double check if the record is created since before, or if there is a file in FLA, which is not. So we say we will create a new person. So now all the data that was entered by the requester from the portal is here. We can validate it and enter some more details if we have, and then we just press save and close. So this step, if we go back to the beneficiary, created a person record of the sought person, and we see it in green. So if we open the, so we just need to connect so the sought person to the requester. So we put relationship to, she's a wife. And we so the relationship has also been updated on the requester side. Go back to the general view of the pre-case. We check if there was any data registered regarding accompanying persons, but it's empty, so there is no data to validate. So finally, the next step we need to take is to work on the consent. So when the requester signed up from the portal and registered an person account, also the requester gave us consent to store the data. So the next step for us is to collect the consent so we can share the data. We have one section for data protection, and the next step in the process is to collect the consent related to all these areas for data protection. If we plan to have an interview with the requester, we can ask all the questions related to the consent during the interview, or we will have a separate phone call or a Teams meeting with the requester to collect the consent.